live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
Welcome to the show. Today we have an interview with the Blanchard Bluegrass Festival coming up in August. And after the break, it's time for us to get to all of the Route 66 news. I am Harley.
And I'm Brett. Great job.
Thank you.
When can
First try.
When can you start? I don't need to see your resume.
So, in preparation for the Bluegrass Festival interview, I started down a bluegrass rabbit hole.
You did?
So, there's some really cool bluegrass out there, but what I'm drawn to is the rap songs
that have been turned into
bluegrass songs.
Yeah, and I think we're going to probably talk about what I didn't know is that in my research is there is bluegrass and then there is newgrass, where they kind of, again, it's a blending, if you will. It's a fusion of the old, the new, and sometimes it's rap, and sometimes it's Black Sabbath. It's super cool, man.
I think it's fun. I am excited to go, actually.
But yeah, we've got a great interview coming up with Chris Wittenbach, the founder and brain trust of the Blanchard Bluegrass Festival. Stick around. Well, coming up August 22nd and 23rd, it is the 14th annual Bluegrass Festival. And joining us today is the founder, the CEO, the Bishop of Bluegrass, Chris Wittenbach. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you for having me.
So 14th annual Bluegrass Festival, that's a long time to do one thing.
Okay, now you're starting to call me old, but yes, it is.
How old are you? How old a boy are you?
I'm old enough to know better, as my daddy used to say.
Right, and young enough to, I got you.
I'm 54 years old. I'm been with the city of Blanchard as director of Parks and Recreation for 16 years.
That's a long time.
And started the Bluegrass Festival in my second year, and it has been going on ever since.
So, we always talk about, the last, 5, 6, 7 years, there's kind of an asterisk that's starting in about 2019.
Yeah, right around there.
Are we still counting? Because we don't get to talk to a lot of festival coordinators. When you refer to COVID, is there an asterisk there? Are we still keeping the number?
Yeah, because it fell at a time where we were social distancing, so we didn't cancel it that year.
Awesome.
Yeah, we talk about festivals. As a matter of fact, it's the McLeod's Blackberry Festival did a drive-through. You drive through and you pick up your bag of berries. That's how they did. They did their fruit festival.
Our high school ended up doing a drive-through graduation that year.
What a wild time! Like it almost seems unreal. We were talking to the lead singer from Five for Fighting, and talking about COVID, and it's almost like it's just a blur that whole time. Time didn't seem to exist.
It is. I know. And, hindsight being 2020, I think we all jumped the gun on how nervous we got about it. The good news is that's in our past.
Yes.
We're moving forward. And coming this September, we've got a big car show. Before that, we're doing our Bluegrass Festival on September 22nd and 23rd. As, again, referring back to the olden days, the sun has come out for another day.
Yes, it has.
Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we can expect at the Bluegrass Festival and maybe some of the bands that are going to be there?
Well, I'll give you an example of kind of where we started 16 years ago. 16 years ago, the city of Blanchard didn't really have a Parks and Recreation department. I was hired to kind of create and go with what we were lacking. And so when I started, we relied heavily upon donations from the community, and in most part still do. But in those early years, the bands, many of them, just to kind of get the thing kicked off, donated their time. So We had several of the bands that are still with us today that, for the first 3 or 4 years didn't take a paycheck from it. So we're very happy that we were able to find local talent that was solid enough that people wanted to come out and hear them. Leading up all the years that have gone by today, we've got some pretty well-known groups coming in. We've got the Hunt Brothers, who were a part of the Hunt family before and used to have shows in Nashville. And so they've grown up. So they perform with their parents as kids, and now they're in their mid to late 20s and early 30s, and they've got their own band called the Hunt Brothers, and they're phenomenal. We've got Cliff Top Bluegrass, which is one of the state's top bluegrass bands. We've got the Horn family. They're phenomenal, full family unit. We've got Red Bud is coming. We've got Greystone Bluegrass Revival, which is one of those bands that helped us in the early days, in the early beginnings of the deal. They've been with us all 14 years. And so we're very proud of those facts. And let's see, we've got Joe Culligan and his band. I can't remember the name of his band, but I'll have to get back to it, look it up here in just a second. Actually, we've got 7 bands, but 5 performing each night. And on Friday night, that is what we call our Bluegrass Gospel Night. And so it's a gospel music, but with a bluegrass flair. And it's very, very, very wildly popular. In fact, there are many of the years that have gone by, those are our biggest nights. Those are the most well-attended nights. And then on Saturday, we go back to the more traditional bluegrass, and then we've also got a band or two that does what they call newgrass, which is a little bit more upbeat and maybe a top 40 song that you might know that's done in a bluegrass manner. We're pretty proud of what we've built. We will have food trucks out there. We'll have an ice cream truck. We're going to have a snow cone truck. We also offer shuttles, as bluegrass tends to be a full family event, but also tends to draw in folks my age or older. Because it's done in August in the heat, we provide golf cart shuttles from the parking lot down to your seating, and we'll take you back to your car at the end of the evening. So we're pretty proud of that we get to do that. We have a few vendors that'll be there. Very proud of some of our sponsors that we've had, OEC and Oventive, Pioneer, Knippelmier Chevrolet. Some of those guys have been some of our annual year-long sponsors that support us through everything we do. So we're super happy to be able to work with them.
Chris, I got a question for you, kind of backing up just a little bit. You were talking about newgrass. I'm seeing a lot, and maybe it's just the way the algorithm is, seeing a lot of that popping up with people covering everything from Black Sabbath to ACDs, taking heavier songs and making them into bluegrass, viral bluegrass videos. Are there any of those that kind of catch your attention? What are you looking for in a newgrass?
Well, Cliff Top is one of the groups that I would consider that they do a lot of traditional stuff because that's also what's popular, but they have veered into the newgrass era quite extensively. I think Joe Callan, the way his style of music is a little bit of that contemporary newgrass as well. Here's the thing with that newgrass, those bands have become really popular really, really fast, and they become very expensive to bring in. We haven't been able to focus on per se a band that does solely that in the state, because those costs for a city like ours are just not within our budgetary means. However, we have started to get into, like I said, there's a few of the bands that have started experimenting with it and are really good at it. And we're proud to have them, but that's just not, we don't necessarily focus on it. If I get a group that's within our budget to be able to book, we will. And this year we've got a couple that are in that genre. They are not what I would call full-time newgrass bands.
Right. So going back to give us a brief history lesson. 14 years in, you're the brain trust of the Bluegrass Festival. Were you picking and grinning on the porch and thinking of a way to bring it to Blanchard, or how did it all start for you?
Okay, well, first of all, first time anybody's ever called me a brain trust of anything.
I've never. So I got to tell you right now, we talked to John and Drosick from the band Five for Fighting. I'm sure you've heard of them. I was fighting against saying brain trust. You're the only person. I'm serious. I've been in broadcasting for over a decade. I have never used the word brain trust in a sentence because I'm scared. You are officially.
It's a great word. I'm completely honored. But like I said, well, I don't know that I've ever been referred to anything as a brain trust. Usually, I'm the one that gets all the brunt of the complaints when something doesn't go right. But But you were correct.
Well, you're gonna have. What's your drink? What are you drinking right now?
Dr. Pepper from Sonic.
I've called you a brain trust. Well, now that you're officially a brain trust, if you're not drinking it with your pinky out, you're not officially a brain trust yet. But in all seriousness, though, where did it come from?
Okay, so you asked if I was on the porch picking. No, my musical skills are that of I play the radio.
Yes, hit shuffle.
Yeah, I played every drum available back in school. I am not musically inclined otherwise. I can keep a good beat. I can dance pretty good, but I don't pick. I don't sing. To finish out the question was, at the time, we had a group here. I think it was something like Cripple Creek or Dusty Creek or something like that, but they've all moved on and retired and no longer do it. But they were from the Blanchard area and never had a place to play and were just looking for a venue where they could, spend an evening playing. And so one of the things that happened from that was we started a summer concert series where every Friday night in the month of June and July at the time, we would bring in a different band to come play at our park, free to the public, just give the community a different sound every Friday night. Sometimes it's country, sometimes it's 80s, sometimes it's bluegrass, and so on. Well, it became one of those things where they wanted to play almost every Friday night. Well, I can't do that. I've got to break it up a little bit. And so we decided to add into that a bluegrass festival if they could help me find some bands to round out, a festival style setting. So they were very instrumental in helping me find those bands that were willing to kind of come in and spend an hour. Now, we've changed our bluegrass festival over the course of those 16 years. When we first started, it started on Friday night at 4 p.m. and went till 10. And then we played from 11 a.m. Saturday all the way to 10 p.m. Saturday night. And it was a full weekend experience. Problem is, we live in Oklahoma, and the heat in August it will just melt you. So we've, after 2 years in a row of having bands pass out on stage and having to call medical personnel out to the park, we decided to get rid of that early afternoon heat exhaustion part of the day. So now we do both days, start at 5 p.m. and go until 10 in the cooler part of the evening. And so we've made a few changes and concessions, and we started doing that probably just the last 4 years.
Well, it's funny you mention it. Him and I talk about this all the time. The older I get, I remember as a teenager going to concerts at the Zoo Amphitheater, and man, the thrill and the fun of being outside in August. I don't know. And this could be this. We're not talking climate change. I'm saying I think my age change has made me a little bit.
I was going to say I did the same thing in the 80s, but I was 18, 19, 20 years old.
Right.
And, it's like the older, I don't know how we're getting onto this age thing so much. Yeah. I guess I started it, but the older you get different thin. I've got what I call old person skin now.
Yeah.
So like I can look down and my arm will be bleeding and I don't have any idea how I cut myself.
And you won't feel it. Yeah.
But,
yeah.
No. When I was a kid, I could jump in a pool in May or April and it not be cold. And now, if it's not 90 degrees in the middle of August, I'm not getting in.
Well, and I've started saying the older I get, the colder I get too. I'm like, is it cold in here? I wearing sweatshirts inside, but why can't we have? And I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming everybody that has a dang festival. I mean, I know you can't have a watermelon festival in October. But why do we have every music festival is in the heat of the summer? Where's Winterfest?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Unfortunately, again, we live in the state of Oklahoma where we don't really have but 2 seasons.
True. Yeah, that's true.
That's extreme winter and extreme summer.
But why can't we have why can't we have a bluegrass festival called Hillbillies and Hot Chocolate? I mean, you know what I mean? I think I'm onto something here.
I think you are too. We could, but we'd have to do that indoors.
Yeah, we would.
It's going to be 15 degrees with a 30-mile-an-hour wind chill.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking to somebody that's from Arizona, and out there it's a dry heat. Out here, it's not the heat; it's the humidity. So, and they moved out here to have seasons. I'm like, Mother Nature's
moved to the south.
Well, Mother Nature's on a roll this year. I mean, to tell you what, she is not happy. It's been a wild weather season this year.
I've never experienced. Luckily, I have not had to ever cancel any of my events, but I've not experienced a rain event like we've had periodically over the last 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, it's been definitely
insane.
Wet. Yeah. So how many people typically show up to the Bluegrass Festival?
It's a great question. It's nothing like any of the other festivals that I do. We do our 4th of July that we just did probably saw 10,000 people here. We have an event called May Days that we do that probably sees about 5,000 a day. The Bluegrass Festival is a certain type of person. It's a certain crowd. So we'll see probably close to anywhere from 800 to 1,200 people down there. I think we do that well because we're a city and we don't offer a ticket charge. This is free to the public. And we'll see anywhere from hardcore bluegrass fans that are in their 60s and 70s, all the way down to a family of 4. And I've even seen several OU students who would pack a picnic lunch and bring a blanket and sit on the hill. And they're just chilling out. They just came to experience something different. So we've had all genres, all types of ages. So we're pretty proud about that. But it is a style of music that's for a certain style of person that enjoys bluegrass. I mean, I don't know how you can't hear a banjo or a mandolin and not get a grin on your face.
Oh, for sure.
But that's me. But I also grew up in the 80s where, I was into Poison and some of those AC/DC, some of those
really
little harder bands, and they're nowhere near bluegrass style.
Well, let me ask you, Chris, that you mention it. I know that you organize a bluegrass festival. What if somebody that didn't know you and maybe does know you? What music, like when you're not listening to, what's something that somebody might be surprised that you listen to today? Not just in 1980, but today.
Today? Well, I'll tell you. I grew up listening to everything, so you would be surprised to know that I am not turned off. I won't say I have to listen to it, but I am not turned off by opera music or Broadway music or musical type stuff. I grew up with a father who was a piano teacher and a choir director for a church. And so in our house, we sampled music from everywhere. We listened to, my parents are teenagers in the 50s. So we listened to a lot of 50s, 60s, and 70s records just at the house. And because of what my dad did for a living, I got to hear anywhere from a Brahms melody to a Bach concerto to Christian hymn music. And then the next night he'd be playing Creedence Clearwater Revival. Wow. So I learned to love everything.
That's awesome. So Chris, as the director of the Blanchard Parks Department, this is going to be held at the Lions Park, right?
If you're looking it up on GPS, don't be confused because there are 2 or 3 towns around us that also have a Lions Park. So make sure you type in Blanchard, Oklahoma.
I wanted to touch base with you on the park. It looks like you guys have done a lot to this park recently. Can you kind of tell us about what's going on there?
Well, we've redone the walking trail. Not that long ago, we put in a new walking bridge. We have put in a new outdoor stage. We've got We've added some shade. The cool thing about our park is, well before my time, somebody thought to put in some fast-growing cottonwood trees. And so those things are now 60, 70 foot tall, providing a ton of shade throughout the park. Now, there are certain times of year it looks like it's snowing out there because of the cottonwood falling, but they do provide a ton of great shade, and it is a really cool experience to go out and sit there. And you were asking me about my style of music, just to cut back for a minute. If you're a listener and you've not been into bluegrass, or you think to yourself, why would I like that? I would challenge you to come out and hear one or two of these bands, even if you don't want to stay the whole night. I challenge you to come out and see the talent, harmonies, just the way that they put on a show is it's accustomed to a rock band without all the lights and extreme loud sounds. It's the same thrill you'll get if you're a musician, if you like music, if you like good entertainment. And you know what? If nothing else, come out and have some food truck food, get yourself an ice cream, and just chill for the weekend. Just come have a good time.
I was lucky enough one time, it's been years ago, it was an ex-wife ago, but we went to WinStar to see Martin Short and Steve Martin. What I didn't know was that Steve Martin was going to be playing with the Steep Canyon Rangers. And let me tell you something.
I was going to say, he's one of the best bluegrass bands in the country.
They are fantastic. I was absolutely floored. Bluegrass live, it's one of those things where an album's great, the radio's great, but to really appreciate something like bluegrass, it has to be seen up close, because it really is. You have to be tight. And the Steep Canyon Rangers, I'll be honest, I have two experiences with bluegrass, maybe three. Ricky Skaggs, Alison Krauss and Union Station, and the Steep Canyon Rangers. So my portfolio is not broad, but I grew up in a musical household. My dad did lighting and sound, and I was a band brat, but not in a band. So I appreciate the musicality. Bluegrass is some of the most beautiful music. And again, we talked about that new grass a little bit, when you can recraft a song that's meant to be heard, cranked up to an 11, and you hear it you completely flip the genre and turn it into a blue. It's some of the most beautiful, calming. It's just, like you said, it makes you just come chill. It's such a chill atmosphere. But yeah, that was one of the best experiences, that and getting pulled on stage to do the Three Amigos dance with Martin Short and Steve Martin. But yeah, what a treat that was.
Aren't you the lucky guy?
Yeah, I didn't I lost the pictures in the divorce, so there's no proof of purchase, but I was there.
Well, Steve Martin, Alison Krauss, and who else did you say?
Union Station and Steep Canyon Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys, if that's the bluegrass that you started out listening to, or some of your first, you certainly got a chance to set the bar really high for yourself.
Yeah.
Because those guys are awesome. I've heard Alison Krauss live. Actually, those
so
Triple
jealous.
C, believe it or not.
I'm so jealous of that. I remember when she came to Old Triple C, and I think I had to work that night. I would love to see her. I know she came through Tulsa she's been through Tulsa with Robert Plant a few times. Now that would have been, and they played at the Cain's Ballroom. Robert Plant, Alison Krauss, Cain's Ballroom. I mean, to tell you, I don't think there's a better ticket to get than to see those two powerhouses in one spot in such a small venue. But yeah, I regret not seeing Alison Krauss for sure.
We have about 35 events that go on throughout the year here in Blanchard, and if your listeners are interested in checking any of them out, they can follow us along on Facebook at Blanchard Parks and Recreation, or they can check out our website at cityofblanchard.us. We most certainly invite them to actually come on out and hang out with us, get to know what kind of great little town this is, get to meet some of the people. I'm a little partial, but I think we're some of the nicest people in the country. We would love to meet you, love to see you, and in my case, love to entertain you and then send you back home.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you coming on and taking the time on a late Wednesday night. Yeah, we can't wait for the Bluegrass Fest.
It's time for the Oklahoma Deer Conference and Expo, August 16th in Oklahoma City. I'm Todd Craighead, and no matter how long you've deer hunted or your skill level, DeerCon has something for everyone. Learn the tips and skills from subject matter experts to make this deer season your best ever. More than 20 classes to choose from. Register at oklahomahuntersandanglers.org. Brought to you by the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation and the Oklahoma Hunters and Anglers Association.
That was a lot more fun than I expected, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you start looking at music or events,
Yeah.
where they're geared towards an age that you aren't,
Mm-hmm.
it's sometimes daunting.
Yeah, and the thing about, we've been lucky the last two interviews to talk music. We talked obviously to John from Five for Fighting, and then of course from an organizer and fan perspective with Chris. Music in general, it really ties everyone together. Music is music lovers. When you can get those communities together and you're vibing with the same thing. I don't know how many bands I've discovered just by going to live shows to see. I go to see the band that I'm paying the most to see.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas some people show up late and miss the opening acts. I've found more new music, new fandoms for bands, and otherwise, I've been kind of closed-minded. And I'll tell you one thing, bluegrass, it hasn't really caught fire with me, but again, you can kind of go down those rabbit holes. You can find, like you were saying, you can find where they're taking rap songs, they're taking metal songs, and giving them a twang,
Yeah.
And it's really cool, and it makes it you're painting with a much broader brush, because when you think bluegrass, you're like, oh, it's down home country, down in the holler, blowing on blowing on the bottles and playing banjos made out of cigar boxes and stuff like that. It's really good music, man.
Honestly, one of the things that has me stoked about this,
What?
800 to 1,200 people as opposed to the normal events, the other events that we talk about where it's 30,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's intimate,
And it brings people from all over to a smaller community that may not otherwise. And some of them probably have this on their calendar every year for the last 14 years. But, the people are just now tuning in and becoming more in touch with bluegrass. You want to see live music? You want to see music stripped down to the bare essentials? It's the Blanchard Bluegrass Fest.
Well, if you're interested, we'll include links in the show notes for all of the ways to find out more information.
Well, coming up after the break, are you ready for a Route 66 birthday?
So our news story today is from Fox 23. Route 66 Commission announces record-breaking classic car parade set for 2026.
If we do not get an invite, you're like, to what? A public event where people can just show up? Yeah, I know, Harley, but I want to be behind the velvet rope.
I don't think there's a velvet rope.
I want to be behind the wheel.
I do want to point out
What?
that next year is Route 66 big birthday.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of stuff happening, and we're going to have to work extra hard to get it covered because there's a lot of things happening.
Now, I don't know if we haven't talked about it, but, we talked to Becca Black with the Ravine a year and a half ago or so, and I was kind of skulking around on Facebook. They have a house out in Stroud, Oklahoma, close to Route 66, and they have an old service station, an old building that they're restoring. I'd love to get them on and talk to them when we get a little bit closer to this Route 66 birthday thing and see what they got going on. But yeah, this is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, the Tulsa Route 66 Commission announced the Tulsa Route 66 Capitol Cruise World Record Classic Car Centennial Parade.
Dude.
With a goal of 3,000 cars participating.
100 years of the Mother Road. That's crazy. Yeah, we got to figure out a way to be there. I think it's just going to be too cool to miss.
I like whenever we do, the record-setting type events in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Tulsa, though, they don't do anything part of the way, and this is going to be huge. They're expecting, I think, 200,000 spectators for this event.
Yeah, they're going to be lined up. We'll be there. We'll figure out a way. Lieutenant Governor, we need to be in the motorcade. Just saying.
Can you practice your wave, your princess wave?
No, because we're going to have to have the windows rolled up, because by the time we get there, if people didn't want to kill us because of chicken fried steak or the barbecue, the pizza, by then, I mean, we may have to have armed security, so I'm not going to be waving at anybody. We're going to need a Pope mobile.
Not the JFK mobile?
No.
Put the top down?
Yeah, we're not doing any we're not riding in a rag top anything.
Yeah, the chair of the Tulsa Route 66 Commission, Josh Stout, said this is going to be a once in a lifetime spectacle for a once in a lifetime celebration.
Mark your calendars, y'all. May 30th, 2026. I'll be 49 because it's the day after my birthday.
How about that?
Come on, baby. Put me in a 49 Ford.
You were born a day after Route 66 was born.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, but the years are off.
Right. Yeah. May 30th. Come on, man. Get me there. Just get me there. Then I can wait and celebrate my birthday on Route 66.
Sure.
And everybody's like, what is going on? Who is this guy?
We just go in and replace all of the banners in the parade with Happy Birthday, Brett.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Route 77.
Happy birthday, Route 44, Brett.
Absolutely. Well, if you're interested in more on that story, check out fox23.com and more feedback.
We do have some more feedback.
Yeah.
So Randall Hardhead, in reference to your Brahms burrito fiasco from a couple of weeks back, said the grande burrito only has the mustard on it. And he also said, thanks for trying the mustard burrito so I didn't have to, LOL.
It's absolutely. I know we're 2 episodes deep on talking about mustard, and two videos, 2 episodes. Something tells me we're not going to get invited to the Brahms
Centennial
event, company party, possibly the drive-thru. I'm going to have to wear one of those Groucho Marx glasses with the nose thing to order food again. Just stop doing weird stuff. I mean, it's not necessary. I've had biscuits with mustard and sausage on it. Okay.
Here's the thing. I love you, dude. Stop eating a Brahms. Why do you hate your stomach?
I wanted something for breakfast. There's nothing in I work in Mustang. There is nothing in Mustang that's quick. Good food ain't fast.
All right. I need somebody. We've got a lot of boots on the ground when it comes to restaurants in the state of Oklahoma. I need some suggestions for where Brett can get a fast, good breakfast in Mustang, Oklahoma. That's our feedback for next week.
Yeah.
So definitely let us know so Brett can stop killing himself.
I mean, I'll double down if I have to and do it again and try a different burrito. But there's nothing. There's not even a gas station that I can get anything at that's within a reasonable distance.
I'm not buying it. Like I said, we'll have suggestions for next week.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it.
Brahms burritos didn't cut the mustard, but Brahms cut the mustard, please. Nobody. And I say, and we'll be done with it, no one asked for it. And the people that are normalizing mustard on a breakfast burrito,
you're criminals. You're all criminals. I'm sorry. Anybody that's out there saying that's always been a thing, that's always how they do it.
No.
You are gaslighting us, and I will not have it.
No, I won't. And for everyone else, it's the Only No Case Show. New episodes, new content all the time. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the kind words. Hell, we appreciate you blasting us with mustard gas. This has been the Only OK Show. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace.
Sorry, my phone has decided to do a whole lot of things, and one of them is to screen my calls for me. So instead of ringing, I get a little notification that it's verifying whether I want to accept the call or not.
I wondered, that was a pretty cool little AI, whatever tool it was.
Well, it's so funny, 5 or 6 years ago when they said AI was coming, it's like, oh, okay. Now it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It is. And anyway, that voice sounded so freaking real.
Did you watch Stranger Things?
Yes.
They released that teaser for the final.
It's the final countdown.
All right.
So we need to do the intro.
Listen, in the immortal words of Matthew McConaughey and his character from the movie Dazed and Confused. All right.
All right, sir. Let's roll. 3, 2, 1.
Do you listen? Are you a bluegrass fan?
Intro the show and we can talk about that.
Can you tell me something better? I forgot. I'm interested in this. What are we going to talk about in the opening?
We're going to talk about bluegrass.
We're going to talk about bluegrass.
You're so freaking rude sometimes, man.
Yeah, I know.
Be in the moment. Be in the moment.
Be aggressive. Dude, I don't know.
It left. Somebody last week told me I sounded like James Spader and Raymond Reddington.
No, you don't.
I did for a little bit.
Maybe, but not right now.
I'm Ultron, and I'm the AI. They predicted it. AI was a comic book thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ultron was AI.
Mm-hmm.
So was Vision.
Uh-huh.
They were dueling chat GPTs. I'm trying to find it now. I'm having trouble finding it.
Do I need to come over there?
No, you don't have to gum over here. That's what you said. Do I need to gum over there? No, you don't need to gum over here. Jeez. Ugh. Shut the frick up, man. Let me do the job you're paying me to do. Shall me? Shall me?
That's about what I'm paying you for.
Right.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the show. Today we have an interview with the Blanchard Bluegrass Festival.
Stop. You're done. We didn't even do the news story, man.
Do it.
3, 2, 1. Raymond Reddington. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we have an interview about the Blanchard Bluegrass Festival coming up in August. And after the break, it's time for us to get all of the Route 66 news. I am Brett. And welcome to the show. Today we have an interview about the Blanchard Bluegrass Festival coming up. God, it was going. I was cruising.
Is it gumming up?
You know what? What did you say a minute ago?
It's gumming.
Do I need to gum over there?
Yeah. It's gumming up in August.
I said today earlier.
Today.
3, 2, 1. Be done.
I didn't do anything. My microphone doesn't pick up anything.
Watch. I can still hear it. Take a drink. Take a real drink. Don't do the ASMR thing. You're doing. Nobody drinks like that. No. That's what you get. Take a normal drink where you're actually trying to make noise, but not intentionally. Just take a normal drink.
I just did. I'm running out of drink.
Watch. Did you hear that in the microphone?
Yes.
See? All right. Outtakes this week are going to be good.
Yes.
And last week. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to... God dang it. Quit messing with that. Stop. It messes with me. I don't know why. Quit moving your hand, period. Don't look at me. 3, 2, 1. Why do you have to look at me? It's not important. I'm literally reading from a script. It's a there's no.
Can you?
3, 2, 1. Okay. I can't. Just stop. For 10 years, your presence is sometimes the funniest thing about you. It's just you doing unnecessary things for an unreasonable amount of time. Are you going to put that on your head? Why do you look like you're either part of a hostage negotiation? I want to tell my family that I love them and just give them the money. All right. 3, 2, 1. Dude, quit looking at me. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we have an interview. Yes, God dang it, I can't look at you. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we have an interview about the Blanchard Bluegrass Festival coming up in August. And after the break, it's time for us to get all the freaking dang it, man. I get right there. I'm going to start. I think it's time to hire ChatGPT. And welcome to the show. Today we have an interview about the Blanchard Bluegrass Festival coming up in August. And after the break, it's time for us to get to all. Why is that there? Why is that there? Okay, I got it. 3, 2, 1. And welcome. Okay, you ready? Are you ready? All right, just swallow, please. 3, 2, 1. Can't help it. We've been doing this.
You have one last chance, and then I'm doing the intro.
Are you serious?
Yes, one last chance.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, God. That doesn't count. The warm-up doesn't count. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. No. Come on. This is all I got, man. 3, 2, 1. It's your face.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm doing it.
I got it right here. Ready?
Nope.
3, I got it right here. 3, 2, 1. I can't.
You've been benched. You've been benched. 3, 2, 1.